Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll understand how we can install Tomcat server, and then we'll see how we can use Maven tool, which is a build tool, in order to build a sample application, and then we'll deploy that sample application to Tomcat server. So we'll start from scratch. So first of all, let's create one Ubuntu machine on Azure cloud. So we'll go to resource group, go to create, give any name to your resource group, then you need to select the region. So I'm in India, so let's select India as a region. South India we can select. We can go to tagging section. We don't want to provide any tag, so we can leave it as it is. We can then review, and then we can create this resource group. This is required because we cannot launch virtual machine directly in Azure. Firstly, we need to have this resource group. Inside this resource group, we'll launch the virtual machine. So resource group is fine now. Now we can go to home, virtual machine, and here we can create one virtual machine. So we'll create one Ubuntu virtual machine. Let's select resource group here, give any name. Suppose you want a Tomcat machine, so you can give a name as Tomcat. It is available, and then all the parameters we can keep as it is. 2 vCPU, 8 GB is enough for our demo, and then we can select a password. We can give username here. Okay, we can set any password. Okay, and port 22 we need to open because we want to get it access from outside, so that is fine. We can select standard SSD in order to save some cost. Then we can go to networking section, and here we can select this option, delete public IP and NIC when VM is deleted, because once we'll delete this VM, then it will automatically get deleted. Okay, we can go to management section, and here we can skip this section because we don't need any setting. Here we can disable boot diagnostic. We can go to advanced section, and then we can go to tax section. We can then review what all settings that we have provided, so it will come up here. We can check all these settings, and then we can go to create. So now it will create your Ubuntu machine, which is basically a Linux machine, and then we'll do all the installation from Tomcat server, then to build a sample application, and after that we'll deploy that sample application to Tomcat server. So let's wait for a minute because it will take some time to get this machine set up. So as this machine is getting set up, let's just see from where we are getting that application code. So you can go to Google, and here you can just type address book Maven, and here you'll see there is one sample application is there on GitHub. So we'll just take this URL and we'll clone this particular application so that we can deploy it to our Tomcat server once that server is getting installed. Okay, so now we can see that our virtual machine is ready. So let's go to that virtual machine. We can take its public IP. Okay, we can go to test resource group, and here we have this virtual machine. Okay, so it's quite interesting. We are not able to see the virtual machine. Yes, now we are able to see. So this is the public IP. We can access this machine using putty. Okay, accept, enter your username and password you have set it during machine creation. Okay, so we now logged into this machine. Now I have copied all the instruction in one of the notepads so that it's easy to get copy paste those commands that is required for installing and building application and then deployment of this application. So firstly, the repository that I showed you on Google, we just need to clone that repository. So just place this command and you can now see that this address book repository is copied. So this is a very good example. I found it on internet, so I'm sharing this example with you. Secondly, in order to install Tomcat, we just need to install Java first. So let's install Java. It takes some time. So update has been run. Now we can run this command in order to install Java, because Java is a prerequisite for Tomcat. So Java has to be there on the machine where you want to install your Tomcat server. So let's wait for some time because Java installation takes some time, so maybe a minute or two. So just wait for few minutes. So now we can see that Java has been installed. We can check with command java version, and yes, Java is installed. So now let's go to our notepad and see what next we need to do. So now we can install Tomcat. So let's firstly create a directory. Guys, just follows all these steps in order to get successful installation, because sometimes Tomcat you'll not be able to successfully make it up. So just follow all these step by step so that Tomcat gets successfully installed. So I'm now doing a change directory command. Now we are inside the directory which we have created. So this is basically a command so that we can download Tomcat package from internet. So we can run this command, and now you can see that this package is getting installed from internet. And this is basically a tar file, so we need to get it untar so that our main binaries should get extract on this particular Ubuntu machine. Then we need to change ownership of this particular Apache binaries. With the username we are logged in, so I have placed cloud admin. You can run the same command with the user, whatever user you have created. So in this way, now we are almost done with the Tomcat installation, because it's just basically an untarring of a tar file, and this folder basically contained your bin directory where we can run all the command. But we need to make some configuration changes, otherwise your Tomcat will not get successfully up. So we just need to go to this directory. Okay, and here we have one file, that is your Tomcat users.xml. We need to just open it with the help of vi editor, and we need to add one username and a password. Along with that, we need to enable the roles for this Tomcat server. So we need to enable roles of manager GUI, admin GUI, and manager script. And this is basically the username, and this is basically the password that we'll use in order to open our Tomcat console, or in order to get logged in your Tomcat console. So just copy this particular command, go in editor mode, go in insert mode, and then paste it just before this Tomcat user. Save it with the help of WQ. So this file is now saved. We need to edit one more file. So we need to go to this directory, copy, okay, and here we need to edit your context.xml file. So just open in via editor, and what addition we need to do in this file is we just need to comment out this valve section. So I have just copied the complete command here. This is basically the complete entry, so I'll just place this complete entry. So in order to comment it out, we just need to place this arrow, and then we need to do a not, and then hyphen hyphen, and in the end we need to place this two hyphen hyphen and then this arrow. So in order to make this as error free, I have just copied this complete tag statement from here. I'll delete it from here, so just go to editor, put escape, and then press your dd in order to delete a line. Then we'll go to insert mode in order to insert those commands, or you can say that tag. So just place that tag here, okay, and then do an escape and save this file. So we have now saved this particular file. So we are now done with our Apache Tomcat server related configurations along with the binaries. Now we need to build our sample application, then we'll deploy that application, and after that we'll start our Tomcat server. If you want, we can start our Tomcat server as of now. So how to start that Tomcat server? We can go to this particular Apache directory, we can go to bin directory, and here in this directory we can use this startup.sh script. Okay, so now you can see our Tomcat server has been started. So our next task is to build an application, and then we'll deploy that application to Tomcat server. So let's go to this particular directory, and here we'll just download our Maven binaries using wget command. So you can see that these has been downloaded, and then we can untar this package just like we did for Tomcat. Okay, so this untar piece is also done, and then we need to sit to our application directory, or basically the code directory. And here if we'll do an ls command, so you can see this pom.xml is here. So this pom.xml is basically the file which our Maven is going to consider whenever it is going to build an application, or whenever it is going to test and then deploy that application. So this is basically the pom.xml, and this every code related to pom.xml and all these files is basically provided from developer side. So as a DevOps engineer, we don't need to be worried about the code, because that code has been provided from developer. Our responsibility is to just install that code using our build code tool, and we are using Maven as a build code tool, and currently we are doing it manually, but in my next video I'll show you how we can automate this process using Jenkins. So now we are at pom.xml. We just need to run firstly the compilation command so that our code get compiled, and we'll see whether it is successfully compiled or not. So just run this command. So now you can see that compilation has been started, and you can see this downloaded related statement. So basically now it is seeing that what all packages are required on this machine in order to build this application. So all these packages are getting downloading from Maven repository. So once these packages get downloaded, then our compilation process will start. So just wait for a few minutes. Okay, so we can see now that build has been successfully completed. and then we now can test our application. If there are any test cases that has been placed by developer, then we can run this test command, so that testing of code can also be done, or we can run those test cases on our build that we are going to create. So it is again downloading the packages from the repository of Maven, which is required for testing. But now we can see that there are no test cases has been provided by developers, so you can see no test case has been run in this case, and we can now proceed to build our sample application. So it will take, I think, again some time, because it will also again download the packages that are related to build your sample application. And we can see now all the packages has been downloaded, and we can see a build success message, so our application has been built. And you can see now this path that it is saying your application has been built in the form of var in home cloud admin address book target and address book hyphen 2.0.var. So guys, basically this is the file that is we are going to deploy on our Tomcat server. So now we don't need to do anything, we just need to copy this particular command to web app section of Tomcat server. Okay, and then this file is now in web app section. So any build or any file that you are going to run on your Tomcat server, you need to place on web app section. So one thing we haven't done yet is we just need to open 8080 port, because that is the port for Tomcat that we need to open, and it is 8080 port. So now we have opened this port, we can just refresh this portal, and you can now see that 8080 port has been enabled. And as of now I haven't make any restrictions, so I have keep all protocols source destination any. If you want to get a restrict, you can make it according to your choice. So now 8080 port has also been opened. Now we can access our application with the help of public IP. So this is basically the public IP. We can go to overview section, we can get this public IP, and we can access it using 8080 port. And guys, we need to go to manager slash html as a context root in order to access that Tomcat portal. So now you can see it is prompting for the username and password. So the username and password we have entered in tomcat-users.xml file. We need to place the same username and password here. So let's place the username and then the password. Okay, so now you can see that we are inside our Tomcat portal, and here you can see in applications your address book hyphen 2.0 application has been deployed. We can see here, we can click on this application, and now you can see that application is getting served. So you can use this link also, like your public IP along with the port number, and then after slash you can give this context root of your application so that you can get it accessed directly from outside. So this is basically an address book application where you can enter the username and password along with other details of the user, and these details will get saved in this particular application. So let's see a demo of this address book application. Click on new contact, place any name here. So type any name just type first and the last name as a user. Phone, you can give any number, and then email, you can give any email that you want to add. So suppose like this, and date, suppose we are giving today's date, and after that we can do a save. So now you can see that the data that we have entered is populating in this application, like first name first, last name user, and email, you can see in this way. So guys, in this way you can install Tomcat, you can build a sample application using Maven, and then you can deploy your application to Tomcat. So this is a very good example if you are new to these things. So I think this particular video will help you in order to get better understanding of Maven, Tomcat, and then installation of this particular sample application. So I'm going to create one new video, guys, where I'll automate this process using Jenkins, and there I'll give some brief introduction about what Maven is and what this command actually do. So I'll discuss all these things in my next video. I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in my next video.